Okay, this is how you work on your assignments in Blackboard. So let's just kind of take a look. I'm using the Excel sheet, but this also works for Access. So let's say our work this week is to go over lesson 1 and to do the skills review and the lesson applications. Well, this works the same if you're working in Excel or Access. So I'm just going to use this one, but that's what we need to do. So we're going to come over to Blackboard and log in. And you're going to come over to the area called Assignments. Okay, so it should look like this. You've got all of your assignments here, and we're working on lesson 1. So we're going to click on lesson 1, and we can see that skills reviews worth 20 and lesson applications are worth 30. You also want to upload the files that as you're working through the lesson in the book. So I want to see those also for points. So here we're going to get our files. This is called the Excel Student Data 01. So we're going to download that. So you click on that. It takes a couple seconds to download. Here it is. So I'm going to open it. And I'm in downloads. Yours might have downloaded to someplace else, but here it is. It's a zipped folder. So if you look at it, I'm going to look at it under downloads here. You can see that it's a zipped folder. If I go all the way down to the bottom, Excel Student Data 1, and it's got a zipper on it. And when you double click on it, you need to unzip this file so that you can use all the files inside. If you just use the files themselves, then sometimes it causes a problem. So what you're going to do is double click on the file, click Extract All Files. It's going to put it in the same folder, extract, like that. Alright, so now when I look at downloads, you could see down here at the bottom is that Excel student data with the zipper on it, but up above I have Excel student data 1. Alright, so I'm going to go in there. Now when you're working on the lesson itself, Excel lesson 1, that's the file you're going to be using. When you're working in Access, let me just see if I've got it right here. No, I don't. Access is going to work the same way. You're going to use a specific file that they tell you to use in Access. It's not really that much different, but let's just kind of look at the way this is working. So to get started, I'm going to open up my book, lesson 1, and this is the file I'm going to be using. They're using this as an example as you go all the way through. Every time they ask you to do something through the lesson, please use it here. Okay, so they may ask you to do little things here and things with the chart, and then they have you save it with your initials, and so I want you to upload all of those files with the rest of the files that you're going to use for homework. So let's say we've gone through the whole lesson and we've saved our file. So let's say we say File, Save As, and I know they usually have you save it with you know, some initials, MW. Alright, then we're going to do the homework assignment. Now at the end of the lesson, there's an area called Skills Review, and there's usually 3 or 4 exercises there. And then there's an area called Lesson Applications. And so I want you to do the area under Skills Review and Lesson Applications. And the files you need for that, you'll notice in your folder, you have SR, that means Skills Review 130, Skills Review 131, 132, 133. And then Lesson Applications 134, Lesson Application 135, 136, 137. When you're finished, they ask you to save it with your own initials. So these will look a little bit different once you're finished and want to upload them. So you use these files and then you save them the way they ask you to, and then you're going to upload your files at the end. Now one thing, every now and again they ask you to start a file from scratch. If that's the case, just start a blank Excel file or a blank Access file and upload it when you're all ready. Okay, so that's that part of it. Let's say we're all ready to go. Let's say I'm all finished and I've saved everything. I'm coming back to Blackboard under this area. Now this is where I downloaded the files. It's under Assignments. Let me just go back out again. let's say I come back here, lesson 1, and I'm coming back in here. I'm going to come down a little bit farther and I'm going to click on Add Attachments. Takes a couple seconds to get loaded up. For some reason mine isn't loading, so I'm going to close it and try it again. Okay, so we're going to click on Attachments. And then we're going to want to click on My Computer. And then we're going to click, this should pop up right here. Give it a second to pop up. If it doesn't, you can click here to select files individually, but usually this will pop up. And so I'm in under Downloads, so I'm going to find where my files are. Under Excel Student. And let's say these are the files I want. Now I can upload one at a time, like that. Click on one and upload it. So I can do that if I wanted. Come on down and I could see it. Or I can add multiple. So I'm going to click on Add Attachments again. Click on My Computer. And if I want to click on the first one and then hold my Shift key down and click on the last one, it selects everything in between. Or I can click on the first one and hold down my Control key and I can select very specific files. So Shift key if you want everything in between, Control key if you want very specific ones. Click on Open. Oops, did it give it to me here? Alright, and I can see all my files. Now if you need to remove one because you made one by mistake, you just click on this little button. But once all your files are ready to go, and make sure all of your files are there and ready to go, you can add a comment and say, you know, I enjoyed this, this was difficult, I had a problem with 135, can you check it for me? This is a place where you can add a comment and let me know how it went. And so that I can specifically look for something if you had a problem, or if you wanted to talk about one thing, that I could make sure I was paying attention to that a little more closely. Once you're all finished, you click Submit and then say yes, and then you're already put in. Okay, you'll notice that in your inbox now lesson 1 is gone because you've submitted it. It's under Submitted, and once I've graded it, it will be under Graded. Alright, so you can see that you have submitted it. Alright, so that's how you load files into the assignment area. Coming down, all the way down to the bottom, you could see you have one other type of project. You'll have a final project that's with Access and Excel. Both of you have the same type of idea, and where you'll work on something real specific, and here are the unit files for that project. Again, you don't have to worry about that till the end of the semester. In Access, your final 2 unit projects are under this area in Blackboard, so you'll do them here instead of in SimNet like you had been doing. So otherwise, everything else is the same. If you have any questions on how to work this, make sure you do this first before you start reading the lesson, because the files that you need are here and you need to download them first. Then read the lesson, and then go over to SimNet and do your lesson in SimNet. And then come back here and do your homework for your skills review and lesson applications. So once you're finished with all those 3, you're finished with your homework. If you need any help with this, let me know. I'll go through it again.